Welcome to my vlog! Marketing Myopia is a quintessential big hit Harvard Business Review piece. It was written by Theodore Levitt, an American economist and a professor at the Harvard Business School. He was editor of the Harvard Business Review, noted for increasing the review's circulation and popularizing the term globalization. In 1959, he joined the faculty of the Harvard Business School. Later that year, he became well known after publishing Marketing Myopia in Harvard Business Review, where he asked, "What business are you really in?" A phrase that demands one account for the significance of the job one does. With it, the claim that, had railroad executives seen themselves as being in the transportation business rather than the railroad business, they would have continued to grow. The article is as much about strategy as it is about marketing, but it also introduced the most influential marketing idea of the past half century, that business will do better in the end if they concentrate on meeting customers' needs rather than on selling products. What do you mean when we hear the word myopia? Myopia is a common vision condition in which you can see objects near to you clearly, but objects farther away are blurry. It is also called nearsightedness. So what does this marketing myopia means? In this book, the writer Levitt states that businesses will do better in the end if they focus their attention on meeting customers' needs rather than on selling their products. It is all about seeing their businesses in the bigger picture and merely putting emphasis on just creating and selling their products. Marketing myopia deals with the short-sighted nature of many companies who start strong but end up failing at the end. These companies focus on short-term profit rather than making profits and benefits in the long run. In this book, Levitt argues that businesses are narrow-minded in dealing with marketing. They only make short-term goals, think of themselves, and how to maximize their profit more than thinking what are the needs and wants of their consumers. That's why, every year, thousands of new products are launched, but most of them fail and never live to see the light of success. So, what should a company do in order for them to survive in this vastful trend of change? First, businesses should clearly define what is their product by targeting the audience and addressing what are their needs and wants rather than their own. Companies need to have a clear vision. What I learned from this book of Theodore Levitt is that a business should be a customer-oriented organization rather than a product-oriented. This means always prioritizing the market above everything else. So where does this book fit in the literature of marketing? Businesses should always keep in mind, especially the management, that they must do marketing rather than selling. Selling concept focuses on the needs of the seller, while the marketing concept focuses on the needs of the buyer. The selling concept works to turn products into cash, while the marketing concept works to satisfy the customer's needs through the product. Companies are in the business because they have customers. Therefore, the wants of customers must be their central consideration. The myopia that Levitt describes is a lack of insight into what a business is doing for its customers. Organizations invest so much time, energy, and money in what they currently do that they're often blind to the future. They get lulled into thinking they're in a growth industry, which according to Levitt don't exist. Instead, there are really only companies continuously capitalizing on growth opportunities. After reading the book, I learned a lot, especially in companies being complacent about their product and assuming that they are in a growth industry. What I learned is that companies should continue to adopt the changes of what market wants in order to stay in the industry. Some examples of companies that once considered to be a growth industry and eventually after how many years declined because of failure of seeing long-term picture are dry cleaning companies, Kodak, Nokia, Singular, JetBlue Airways, and Sony. Dry cleaning companies did not adapt to the market and had a very short-sighted cleaning approach, only targeting wool companies and not aiming for cleaning all kinds of clothes. Kodak had a myopic view that the company was in the film business rather than a storytelling business. Nokia is considered as one of the best examples of marketing myopia. It focused all its resources thinking that it is in a growing industry and overlooked the future needs of customers. It thought the mobile phone is only for messages, calls, and some snake games. But at the same time, companies like Samsung, Apple, etc. came with revolutionized technologies, bringing GPS, internet, media, etc. into mobile phones, changing the entirety of the mobile phones industry. For example, if Nokia focused on customer needs and created innovative products, anticipating the customer needs, it would have still been enjoying market leadership. But unfortunately, that doesn't happen. On the other hand, singular myopic description is that we are a telephone company rather than we are a communication company. Also, JetBlue Airways' myopic description of their company is that we are in the airline business rather than we are in the transportation business. Lastly, Sony myopic description of their business is that we are in the video game business rather than we are in the entertainment business. So, how well does the author succeed in his or her intent in writing the book? For me, it was successful in its impact because it was, as with all of Levitt's work, essentially practical and pragmatic. Organizations found that they had been missing opportunities which were plain to see once they adopted the wider view. This paper was influential. The oil companies, which represented one of his main examples in the paper, redefined their business as energy rather than just petroleum. Although Shell, which embarked upon an investment program in nuclear power, subsequently regretted this course of action. One reason that short-sightedness is so common is that people feel that they cannot accurately predict the future. While this is a legitimate concern, it is also possible to use a whole range of business prediction techniques currently available to estimate future circumstances as best as possible. There is a greater scope of opportunities as the industry changes. It trains managers to look beyond their current business activities and think outside the box. In today's life, we live in a modern society wherein it changes constantly and continuously evolving. Management must not produce products but provide customer creating value satisfaction. Leaders must know where they are going. Leaders need to have a vision that can produce eager followers, in which followers are the customers.
Agro-Industrial Foundation College of the Philippines has greatly contributed to nation building with its share of successful graduates and competent seafarers. Agro-Industrial Foundation College of the Philippines.
So what is the implication of this book in my industry or in my organization? So in our case, we are in the education industry. Agro-Industrial Foundation College of the Philippines is a maritime school in the region offering maritime courses to the students. Our product is basically our graduates. We shape them to become future seafarers, domestic and internationally. What the book tells me and made me realize is that to avoid marketing myopia in our organization, we should evolve and accommodate customer needs for us to continue in the industry. For the meantime, we're currently operating as a maritime education wherein students are taught when it comes to theoretical knowledge regarding how a maritime industry works. Another form of business organization the management is planning to offer is a maritime training center in which it trains seafarers on required courses needed for competence in accordance with the STCW or Standards of Training, Certification, and Watchkeeping for Seafarers 1978. That's why, aside from the maritime education that we're offering, the management is now on the process of offering these maritime safety training programs to its market to cater customer needs when it comes to the requirements needed by all seafarers trading nationwide or worldwide, and for those seafarers based in Davao region not to travel outside the city and spend more money for food and lodging. Agro Training Center will accommodate seafarers or trainees in providing the course they need for them to be competent. Lastly, aside from the maritime courses we offered, we also have the basic education department in which we cater Kinder 1 up to grade 12 students. After reading the book, it made sense that we don't want to describe our business as we are in a maritime institution, for it specified a myopic description. Instead, I can define our organization as we are in an academic industry.
Foundation College of the Philippines is the first maritime senior high school in Davao City with government permit number 67, series of 2015.